Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and today I just thought I'd show you some updates from all over the place. These are the bins, as you can see, or if you remember correctly, I consolidated most of the plants to just a few bins, and those are just full of shallow water. In here are some of my floating sarracenias, the carnivorous plants, as well as I moved all my lilies to one. And in fact, the reason I leave them out is that they're still blooming. So there's about 3 flowers in here about to start. But I also noticed that there's still a ton of fry in this tub, despite the cold temperatures. So I'm going to have to get in here sometime in the next week or two and collect the remaining fry. And the fry in here are the orange hatchets and the meteor minnows, and I would guess there's still about 30 or 40 fry, which is good news for me. I picked up a bunch of new cultivars of carnivorous plants. This one is probably my favorite. I'm super excited about it. There's another white one down here. Really, really beautiful cultivars. Here's some of the other ones I already have going. And next month, we're going to be focusing on setting up these plants for overwintering, as well as all the bin plants. I have more carnivorous plants here, and all in all is good, but probably what you're most excited to see is what's happening over here. My husband, if you follow me on Instagram at Ms. Jinxed, you will already know that for my birthday, my husband got me this greenhouse, and I will have a complete build of this, but for now, here's a teaser. Today's too busy to keep going with the construction, but it's totally stable at this point since most of the frame is up. See, we dug out the yard, put in these timbers, put down weed block, put down stone, put synthetic decking on top of the pressure treated wood to prevent the frame rails from rotting, and installed a few panels, and that's the rest of the parts that we hope to finish assembly completely by tomorrow. So it's pretty exciting, and a lot of people had questions about what this is. This is a 1960s pedestal sink, the kind that you used to use the foot pump for. I have 2 of them. They weigh about 400 pounds each. And I'm going to make them into a bog garden type thing. I think I'm going to put the other one above it so that they have a circulating fountain type effect. We'll have to see. They're kind of difficult to work with because they're made of concrete. They're 400 pounds, and they have the center hole sort of cut out from when they were sinks. But this is where we stand. And again, I'll do a full entire build showing you how we put this greenhouse together when it's completed. Let's go down to the, well, actually, let's go to the living room first, and I'll show you an update on the spec, and then we'll go down to the basement. Spec is plugging along. That sound you hear is my cat's fountain, not the aquarium. The chili raspberries all are in here, but they are not loving the haircut, so I'm going to have to adjust the flow a bit. And then there's green neocaridina shrimp. The Hastatus were moved out a long time ago. They just weren't a good fit for this aquarium. Not because of their size, but because of their behavior. But as you can see, everything's doing just fine. Brooklyn tank is doing awesome. Lots of growth up top. Obviously, lots of growth inside. Couldn't be happier. This tank is housing wild guppies from Colombia. You can see probably that there's tons of fry. There's 2 females and a male, and about 30 fry. 150 doing what the 150 does, which is look amazing. Sometime this week I hope to get in here and do a big prune. I mean, look at those mats of moss. And maybe add some Pogostemon octopus, and then it'll be pretty much ready for its 2-year birthday. Big boys doing what big boys do. There are now 5 spawns in the Shelly tank. There's pretty much fry in every corner. which is great news. I'm sure if you guys can see them right above that standpipe. And then there's some in the very back corner. So yeah, they're doing great. The Ancistrus reboot, everybody's doing awesome in here. In fact, I think I have a male on eggs. The fry are doing great. The baby apple snails escaped from their container because the big apple snails went in to eat, which made it fall down. But let's see if we can find some baby apple snails to show you on the glass for you to see the size. Here's one. Still teeny tiny, but about double the size from last week. The Hypancistris Contradens tank is doing awesome. I have a boy here who's been trying to entice a lady, so I'm hopeful. Look how fat they are. Hopeful about eventual spawning with these guys. This Hypancistris reboot, which also has my adult rams, is doing super well. What other tanks have I redone lately? Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys how many plants are now in the Shelly tank. I mean, that's a lot of plants in the Shelly tank. I just can't seem to help myself. But, you know, it is what it is. I have some fish coming in at the end of the week. I only have 5 empty tanks right now, so that makes it challenging. But I am all called up on my water changes. I just need to vacuum down here. Keep your eyes peeled for a Pleco feeding video in the next week or so. I also have some neat oddball catfish coming in that I'm excited to show you guys. But all in all, everything's going. Look at those little habrosis. They're so stinking cute. All in all, everything's going super awesome. I'm really happy with the progress in the greenhouse, how well all the fish are doing. And other than hardscape stuff, I've been able to keep up with everything I need to do, so that is just epic. And I have fry everywhere, which is always rewarding. So with all the Pleco videos I've been doing, I made a little order from plecocaves.com, which is run by Brantley Berry, a friend of mine in the Midwest. But this is a big box and it's beautifully packaged. And I ordered, oh, those are cute. Looks like he sent me some gifts. It's like a little lighthouse. Those are adorable. So specifically what I ordered was some flatmouth caves. Oh, neat. These will be nice for doing different layers. These are fry caves, which are great for baby Ancistrus. I need some for my little Ancistrus tank. See them? This is what I really needed, because especially with the L236, they really like these squash mouth caves. Oh, this one's absolutely perfect. And because these are all handmade at Brantley's house, there is some variability between them. But I like that. I think it's amazing. So everywhere I have Plecos breeding, I'm going to add some of these various caves. And these are the ones that I typically use. These are your pinch end, round, or square Pleco caves. And there's a whole bunch of them in here. And here's the square mouth. So just a square. So what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll add some more layers to each of the Pleco caves, or Pleco tanks, and some of these decorations, because they're really cool. But there are quite a few in here, and I am beyond geeked. So I just added a bunch into this aquarium, those smushed mouth ones, some of the rounds, and a square. We'll see how the L236 take to it. I know that at Chris's house they really preferred those squashed ones. I'm also going to stick a couple of those squashed ones into my Ancestors tank real quick. I just wanted to send out a big thank you to Brantley for sending me all these new caves. I had a stash here that I got several years ago, but I really, with the amount of plecos I have on hand right now, I really need a lot more. And as I look around the fish room, it's really cool to see stuff that's made from a fellow fish hobbyist. And I'll make sure I put the links down below where you guys can purchase things like this. They really make a big difference with rear end plecos. And they sell a bunch of different cichlid projects too. So we'll see if the L236 take to these squashed mouth caves. Already I can see the rams beginning to explore it, and I put a bunch more. Oh look, let's go take a look. I put a bunch more in this aquarium as well, and they're already being investigated. I also put more in my Contradens tank. Stuck some more in here as well. We'll end by doing a close-up on these gorgeous rams. Look at the amount of coverage on their face and that spangling. Holy moly, they are phenomenally gorgeous. And I have 2 tanks of their fry now. I would expect to have more soon with the way they're looking.